Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Tom McKenzie with Stephen Carroll, and we are joined by Bloomberg's Markets Today editor Sam Unstead. And Sam, Vestas Wind Systems up around 4%. That's quite a turnaround from the downside pressure that we saw on wind turbine makers yesterday. What's going on?
Yeah, well, so what we saw yesterday was Ørsted. They ended up dropping 30% over the course of the day after this big rights issue. And that rights issue also was driven in part by there being some concern over its US business and not being able to sell part of its US business, which can then filter across to the rest of the industry. Vestas, which makes wind turbines, so Ørsted runs wind farms. Vestas makes the wind turbines that those farms have. Much better results, much stronger. It's a lot of reassurance, I suppose, more than anything else, but orders going up. And so for them, their fundamentals are looking a little bit better, and that's allowing investors kind of separate out the Vestas story from the Ørsted story.
So next to Spirax, what is going on with them?
Yeah, I mean, so Spirax is a steam flow engineering company.
Thank you for explaining that. I'm sure not. Time to look it up.
Perhaps not a name that you would know enormously well, but a FTSE 100 company for years and years and years, a very consistent performer. And then the last 3 years, they've seen a bit of a dip in demand in a lot of their end markets, and their shares have actually fallen for the last 3 years in a row. Their results today indicate that they may well now have hit a turnaround, that the results are a little bit better than expected, the outlook is a bit more strong, and they're outgrowing the broader industrial market. So their shares actually popped about 19% earlier on today, the most ever. So not just some reassurance, but like a real sense of relief amongst investors.
And Sam, Bellway also up in the session today. What is the story behind Bellway?
So UK home builder, their results today, not spectacular, but solid. And I think what you've had over the course of this year, in the lead up to the stamp duty tax changes that happened in the UK earlier this year, there was a big spike in activity. That then came off again. That's kind of what they said in their results, is that the spring selling season was good, and then things have softened a little bit from there. But they're controlling what they can control quite well. So costs, delivering shareholder returns, all of that's going well, and that's actually lifting the whole sector a little bit today, because again there's a kind of sense of reassurance that even though activity in the UK housing market remains a little bit soft, companies that are performing well and operating well can navigate their way through it.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.